Hi there, this is Tad Hargrave, and welcome to the website for the Radical Business Intensive. The Radical Business Intensive is a 3.5-day workshop for 20 holistic, conscious, green, local, independent, otherwise cool entrepreneurs. And this website's going to tell you a little bit about it, so I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour of the website so you could know what's what. Here's the nutshell. The Radical Business Intensive is a workshop that you would probably pay about $1,700 for anywhere else you went for this kind of content, intimate size of it. And the two things that make it unique, number one is it's exclusively conscious businesses and conscious entrepreneurs by application only. And number two, it's run on a pay-what-you-can basis, meaning you can attend the entire event and then pay whatever you want at the end. And there's a few other wrinkles that I thought would be useful. So the thing I'd like to do in this video is just give you a quick sense of where this weekend came from and give you a quick tour of the website so you know what to look for. I've been doing this workshop all around North America for the last, 7 or 8 years. And when I first got into marketing, I was shocked by three things. The first thing was how expensive a lot of these marketing trainings were. I went to one training in LA that was $5,000 for 5 days, not including travel, accommodations, or food. It was incredible. People got a lot of value from it, but it really struck me that a lot of the people I know would never be able to afford that without going into debt or putting it onto their credit card. The second thing that shocked me was how simple a lot of it was. It wasn't this rocket science. It was something intuitive, and I think you'll find if you get to attend the Radical Business Intensive is that it's not necessarily some brand new information. It's stuff I think you'll feel very confirmed and affirmed of your own intuition. And the third thing that struck me was how kind of capitalist the language was. There was a lot of talk, it's just very kind of greed-based, how to make money, like it's turning on a faucet. And if you're like me, you're not in this business world to get rich. You're in it to make money, for sure, so you can pay your bills and live the kind of life that you want, but also to make a difference. And money really isn't the prime motivator for you. So if this kind of sounds like you, let me give you a tour of the website. You can see if it's a fit. First of all, you're on the homepage right now, and if you read below, there's a sales letter for the weekend that describes what the weekend's about. And there's a few things I want to point out about this. The first thing that you're going to see on this are the 10, I think, really very fair conditions that you're being invited to this weekend under. 10 ways that I've bent over backwards and, twist myself up like a pretzel to make sure that this is as valuable for you as possible and that you're as protected as possible. The second thing you're going to see is, I guess, just a little bit of information to know how relevant this is for you and whether this weekend is a fit. It may or may not be. It's not for everybody. You're also going to see a list of 8 resources that I think every conscious entrepreneur needs to grow their business, and the ways in which this weekend does or doesn't fulfill those requirements. Also, you're going to see an outline of the weekend, what happens on the Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just kind of walking you through the basic flow of the weekend so you can have a sense. And also a bit about the application process. This weekend is not open to everybody. It is by application process only. Most people do get accepted, but there is a little bit of screening that happens. So that's the homepage. If you want to read that, know a bit about the weekend, you can read here. You're also going to see above something about the cancellation policy. That's the first tab next to the homepage. Because when can you cancel? How much money do you get back on your deposit? There's a $100 deposit. You write a post-dated check for 2 days after the weekend. It's not cash. You'll get it back on the Saturday, but it'll walk you through that and the rationale behind it. I think it'll make a lot of sense and it's pretty fair. Next, you're going to see some thoughts about choosing a workshop. This workshop may not be a fit for you. The dates may not work for you. It may not be happening in the area where you live. But I wrote this up because I kind of thought if somebody came to me and they said, Tad, I want to go to a workshop and I'm not sure if it's a good fit for me or if it's good value, these are the 7 questions that I would have my best friends ask of the workshop to see if it's a fit, to see if it's going to be valuable. And these are questions that I would recommend you ask of any workshop you ever attend, whether or not you can make it to mine. So I hope you'll find those useful and valuable. And it'll also give you a sense of my answers to those questions for this workshop. You're also going to see a tab on testimonials. You can read what past alumni and graduates from my workshops have said. A bit about price. This may be one of the more important tabs. Because this workshop's run on a pay-what-you-can basis, people get a little antsy about that. I think there's a lot of fear of like, am I going to be able to pay enough? I don't want to insult you by paying you too little. I don't want to take up a spot. If somebody else could pay you more. Um, what's the average amount that people give? There's just a lot of questions to come up with PageCamp, which is understandable because almost nobody else I know seems to run this kind of a model. So there are a few wrinkles, and if you're interested to know my perspective, the politics, where it comes from, why I'm doing it, how it started, there's more information than you need to know there. And then last, you're going to see probably my favorite tab, the course materials. When I first started, honestly, my course materials were terrible. I had 50 pages of cobbled together notes, and I hadn't put much effort into them. But over the last 3 or 4 years, I've put a ton of effort into the notes. And when you show up at the workshop, you're going to get a workbook that's between 500 and 600 pages. It's huge. And a small font, it's very content dense, divided into a bunch of sections on really particular topics of core marketing fundamentals. And I'm incredibly proud of it. This workbook kicks ass. So you get 600 pages. I get rave reviews about it, by the way. I'll tell you more about it on that page. But this gets me rave reviews months and months, even years after the workshops. You're also going to get some bonuses. When you come to the workshop at the very end, you're going to get a CD. And the CD will have almost 10 hours of audio, interviews I've done with people on particular topics, plus another few hundred pages of material that aren't going to be even printed for you at the workshop. So I think you're going to love it. So that's the tour of this website. I hope that gives you a sense of the information that you might need to make a decision of whether this is a fit for you or not. There's only 20 spaces at this workshop. You'll be able to see below the dates and locations of the workshops and how many spaces are left, so you can get a sense of how urgent it might be for you to make a decision. And if you can't make it to these workshops, but you want to be, kept in the loop, somebody sent you to this website, you can also enter your email below, and that will give you a sense of, or I'll be able to keep you up to date on when the workshops are happening in your area. So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, tad@tadhargrave.com, and that email is just written below right now. And that's it. So hope to be in touch with you soon, and have a great day.